Ever wonder what's going on behind the scenes where politics and business meet? Well, that's the shady territory of lobbying. It's like the backstage pass to policy decisions, where the big bucks talk and influence is the name of the game. Big industries are throwing around billions of dollars every year, playing the game of bending policies in their favor. But who exactly are these heavyweights, and how do they pull the strings? We're about to take a deep dive into this mysterious world of lobbying. Who are the big shots making things happen in Washington, D.C.? What secret moves do they make to get what they want? And the million-dollar question, or should we say billion-dollar, how can we make sure our elected officials are working for the people and not just listening to the jingle of deep pockets? Join us as we explore the world of lobbying in America. Who knows what secrets we'll uncover in the intriguing world of lobbying in America? Are you up for the challenge? Let's get started. Alright, let's dig into the roots of lobbying in America. So, when did this whole lobbying shebang start off, and what's the deal with the term lobbying? Well, back in the early days of the United States, we're talking about the late 1700s here. People used to gather in the lobbies of fancy hotels and inns. They weren't there for the continental breakfast. They were there to have a chat with lawmakers, and that is where the term lobbying was born. It literally started in the lobbies, where people tried to sway decision makers. Now, why did they do it? Well, it's quite simple. They wanted to have a say in the laws and policies that were shaping their lives. Now, let's time travel a bit. How did lobbying transform from those lobby chats into the powerhouse it is today? As the nation grew, so did the complexity of issues. The Industrial Revolution, social movements, and economic shifts brought more voices to the table. Lobbying evolved from small groups with specific interests to big players shaping national policies. Fast forward to today, and lobbying has become a big billion-dollar industry. It isn't just about individuals with concerns. It's massive corporations, interest groups, and anyone with a cause and some cash to spare. But hold on, is lobbying all dark and mysterious business? Not necessarily. Lobbying can be a force for good, advocating for social justice, environmental protection, or health care reform. It's all about who's doing the lobbying and for what cause. So next time you hear lobbying, don't think of it as some shadowy conspiracy. Think of it as the hustle and bustle of democracy, where everyone's vying for a chance to influence the big decisions. Ever wondered about the wealthiest families globally? Dive into the opulent world of affluence by simply clicking the I button in the top right corner of your screen. Our recent video unveils the secrets behind the richest families' fortunes. Don't miss out on the fascinating insights just a click away. Alright, let's talk about the revolving door in the world of lobbying. It's like this mysterious entrance that spins folks in and out of government service and the private sector. Sounds intriguing, right? So, what's the deal with this revolving door, and how does it shake up the world of lobbying? Imagine this. You're working for the government, making policies, shaking hands, and doing all that official stuff. Now, the revolving door is like a secret passage that swings open, inviting you to step into the private sector. It's the way many government officials, lawmakers, and regulators transition into jobs with big corporations or lobbying firms. But why does this door even spin, you may ask? Well, for starters, the private sector loves having people with insider knowledge and connections. If you've been rubbing shoulders with lawmakers, you've got the golden ticket to navigate the complex world of government regulations. Now, here's where it gets interesting. These former government insiders turned lobbyists can use their know-how to influence policies in favor of their new employers, the big companies, industries, or interest groups. It's like having an inside scoop on how lawmaking works and using it to your advantage. But does the revolving door impact lobbying and policy making? Well, it raises questions about fairness, transparency, and whose interests are really being served. Are decisions made for the greater good, or are they influenced by the folks who once walked the halls of government power? And what about the public's trust? When people see officials hopping from government offices to cozy corporate positions, it can make them wonder if the system is rigged. Well, It's time to break down the pros and cons of this lobbying business. On the pro side, lobbying can be a megaphone for underrepresented voices. It gives a platform for advocacy, whether it's about climate change, workers' rights, or health care reform. Think of it like a spotlight on issues that might otherwise be overlooked. But hold on, there's a flip side. When big corporations and deep pockets enter the ring, the cons start piling up. Critics argue that lobbying can create a tilted playing field where decisions favor those with deep pockets. The fear: policies are shaped not for the greater good, but for the interests of the highest bidder. So let's ask the big questions. Does lobbying empower democracy by amplifying diverse voices? Or does it sow seeds of inequality by letting the wealthy call the shots? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Alright folks, let's talk big bucks and power moves in the world of lobbying. Ever wondered who's throwing around the most cash to bend those policy decisions in their favor? Well, we've got the lowdown on the heavy hitters, the top contenders in the spending game. Topping the charts is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, throwing around a whopping $49,970,000. That's not just pocket change. That's serious lobbying power. But why are they at the top? The chamber represents a vast array of businesses, from medium enterprises to corporate giants. It's like the Avengers of the business world, pooling resources to make their voices heard. Next up, we've got the National Association of Realtors, throwing in a cool $33,661,316. Real estate is a powerhouse industry, and these folks want to make sure policies align with their interests. After all, who wouldn't want a say in the real estate market? And let's not forget the Blue Cross/Blue Shield and the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, together dropping over $40 million. Health is wealth, right? These heavy hitters want a seat at the healthcare policy table, ensuring the prescription for legislation is in their favor. Then there's Amazon and Meta in the game, each shelling out close to $15 million. In the era of e-commerce and social media domination, they're not just playing for clicks. They're playing for legislation that keeps the tech wheels turning. But it's not all business. The Open Society Foundations, backed by George Soros, is in the mix with $10,720,000. It's not about profits. It's about pushing for social justice and human rights. Now, here's the kicker. AARP, or the American Association of Retired Peoples, is throwing down $11,390,000. Yes, the folks looking out for the retired squad are in the lobbying arena. They want to ensure policies are senior-friendly, and they're not holding back on the green to make it happen. So, what's the takeaway here? These big spenders aren't just throwing money for the thrill of it. They're investing in the power to shape policies that affect their bottom line, whether it's in real estate, healthcare, or the digital frontier. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. If you enjoyed our journey through the twists and turns of politics, lobbying, and everything in between, don't forget to hit that like button. Have thoughts or questions? Drop a comment below. We love hearing from our viewers and exploring the different worlds you want us to uncover. Ready for more intriguing content from different perspectives? Subscribe to Different Worlds and join our community.